All right, everybody, welcome back for my Frosty Fausting Samurai Showdown Top 8 analysis. So here we are in the other losers quarters match. We got Chris G and Big Bates, one of my own local scene members out there representing Georgia. So these two already played a set earlier in the tournament, I think in top 48, where Bates pulled out the victory in the Genjiro versus Hawamaro match, and I believe they're about to play that same match. So let's get it going. I thought I was closer to the start, but here we go. So again, Chris G does elect to use the Hawamaro instead of the Nakaruru. And you see Bates just using those light slashes to kind of keep him at bay. And this time you see him putting buttons on the the running light slash, but a nice deflect into an SSM starts the first round off big for Bates. So now Chris G has a huge deficit to come from, but landing the running medium slash into weapon flip technique is not a bad way to start. Now they're more or less even, especially with this DP punish for picking up the weapon. So even though Bates started out the round strong, Chris G managed to get his own big damage on the Bates, and so now we're kind of back even. And so now each player is just kind of filling each other out. Stuff we've been seeing a lot of these games in these sets. No DP from Bates. So you gotta see he's like overly focused on the ground because he's not, not reacting to Chris G's jump there. Uses that down medium slash as a low poke. Yeah, he was ready for the DP that time and gives himself a big life lead. No punish on the overhead from Chris G though. So yeah, it's like there's not a lot of huge moments happening here. It's just like both of these guys are just picking at each other, trying to get each other to do something dumb. And Chris G bites first, and Bates takes the first round. Goes for the command grab. Doesn't have as much recovery as the regular throw, so I think Chris G was a little hesitant to put an actual punish on it. So he only got a little slap on the wrist there. I think that was actually good for Bates because I think the DP would have went under him, so I think he had enough awareness there. All right, putting a button after that running slash because after block he doesn't really get anything off of it, but you got to make sure that you hit a fast enough button and you do it in time to punish him, so he doesn't use it as a deflect bait. But this time Bates is the one who's having a problem holding getting the life lead. Chris G still keeping his aggression up despite his life lead. Runs into a running heavy, but again, it's nothing too critical. But a cross up Rekka puts Bates where he wants, or puts Chris G where he wants to be, and gets him the first second round. But now he is down his rage, and now Bates gets to put the weapon flipped on him on check. Now that his rage bar is gone, Chris G's rage bar is gone. He tried to cross him up with the heavy Rekka, but it was his timing went slightly off, and it allows Chris G to pick up his weapon instead. But still, Bates still has the burst available to him, and a very brave DP from Chris G to go through the card. So like he's not afraid, but Bates has not been too shocked by Chris G that he's missing all of his anti-airs. Like he's been blocking a few, but he's anti-airing enough to keep him honest. And Chris G, he seems to be heavily focused on the ground as well. That Bates is getting his own block jump-ins. So you definitely see both of these players like have a good deal of respect for each other inside of the game. Ooh, nice cross on the anti-air. Using that low poke down medium slash. See, I don't think he got reset there, but it's always hard to tell for some characters. But I think he did get reset, and so Bates wisely backed off and waited. And like he's kind of baiting the Eason. He's using the threat of the Eason to kind of run in and stop, and he managed to get a good chunk of damage off of that. And slams him with the overhead to take game one. Bates sighing in relief. And we're gonna run back into the dojo with these same two characters, the eternal rivals, Genjiro and Hawamaru. Oh, Christie starts things strong with a jump C, and he recesses into a throw, into another DP combo. Alright. Base using some of that tricky blocked heavy recoil game, which he's known for, which is where Genjiro can be strong at in the game. In the battle of jump heavies, it's Chris G who is the winner. Using that running punch. And now you kind of see Big Bates getting flailing around a little bit, and Chris G is like, he's kind of disengaging him. He saw the kind of impatience that Big Bates had and started ripping him apart for it. Okay, runs under and gets another SSM off of a deflect anyway. So here we go. Big, strong second round start for Bates. We'll see how Chris G responds. Chris G, I've noticed that whenever he takes a big chunk of damage, he's immediately looking for a chance to land a rage, and I don't think Bates picked up on that. And now he's using the so he used the rage to control that situation where Genjiro did not have his sword, and so picking up came with a threat of heavy damage, and it successfully works out as Chris G takes game 2. So now that they're tied up, both these guys' tournament life is on the line. Let's see where it goes. Oh, running medium. Something you don't really see from Genjiro that often, but it's a good low check every once in a while. Check. Okay. Bates has hit 3 SSMs in this set alone. He's always looking for it, and he's always ready. So if you give him the opportunity, he'll take it. And now Chris G again. So this pattern also repeats. Every time Bates has gotten the SSM, Chris G has followed up and gotten a weapon flip. And now, Bates just throwing hands. So the unarmed normals are really good. They don't do much damage, but they're fast and they have good hitboxes to kind of compensate for their lack of range. Even though overall you don't want to be in that state, you're not helpless, Alright, so Bates takes the first round. He's down to SSM, but things are looking pretty good for him. But he's pretty focused on the ground unless Chris G gets that jump in. Cross up Rekka, the classic. Sometimes you got to check to see if your opponent's still awake or if he's hyper focused on something. A weaker punish from Chris G, but given that Genjiro crossed up, it's understandable because you can't always know what side you're on right away. And so if he had did the SSM there, he probably would have whiffed it and got in big trouble. So anyways, he takes the round. Whoops. Yeah, Chris G just casually poking, but Bates is aware this is just enough to get that DP out, push the corner. Catches the front roll out of the corner with the safe jump. And now Bates is looking pretty confident right now. Uses that recoil pressure. Like the threat of the DP is what allows Genjiro to kind of just uses Rekkas, and he ends up using a cross up to take advantage of it. So really all Bates wants to do is just land a hit. But in Chris G's defense, he can use heavy DP to punish some of the heavier Rekkas. But you can't wait too long because Genjiro has more DP invincibility. Because if you try to match it, he'll win. So it doesn't matter if you can hit him through the window before he can cancel. In that case, Genjiro's DP would have won. So it's just a matter of how much you respect your opponent. But you still got to present the options because Bates has kind of gotten free reign off of his blocked buttons. Granted, that's where Genjiro's strengths are, but if you let him get it too much, and then you can feel suffocated. And I think Chris G is just so into this that he almost forgot to burst. So right now, if he hits Bates with this E-Sin, he's dead. So Bates is going to calm down and go ahead and just take his throw. And then Chris G went in for the throw and got hit with E-Sin. And Bates pulls it out and makes it to the losers semis. All right, so on to the next match.